Hello and welcome to Talk Art. I'm Sally Rayn and I will be your host while we delve into the world of artists and the art that's all around us. Talk Art is brought to you by Silicon Valley Open Studios. For 25 years, during the first 3 weekends in May, over 300 artists open their studios to the public. For registration and event information, go to the website svos.org. We'd like to welcome Marjory Wilson. She is an acrylic artist who paints botanical images and landscapes. She is also a marketing professional. She is a member of the board of the Silicon Valley Visual Arts, which is the nonprofit organization that runs Silicon Valley Open Studios. So welcome, Marjory.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Let's start with information about you and your art. Tell us a bit about your background and some of your artistic influences.
Well, I've always done art. I've been doing it since I was a teen, and I went to school here in California. I'm originally from Colorado, but I studied at the California College of Arts in Oakland. And in my professional career, I stayed in a creative and artistic field in advertising and marketing, and have been painting all along.
Excellent. So who are some of your artistic influences?
I'm a big student of art history, so I really like to study the evolution of art. And I love the periods like the Impressionists and some of the Expressionists and others when they made great changes and they were looking at things in a different way, and they gave us, a really new view of how light hits things and how they painted things. We saw things differently, so it was revolutionary, really.
Excellent. And so you brought some paintings with you in the studio today. Can you tell us a little bit about the process that you use to create this art?
Well, what I usually do is I find images that entice me or excite me, and in some cases I will take the images digitally and I'll alter them on the computer, and then I will print them out and paint from that image. Sometimes I paint from real life, and sometimes I paint just from unaltered photographs. The red piece behind me is a piece that was a picture of roses. I altered that on the computer, and then I painted it, and I liked the way that it became abstract, and you can still get the feeling of the roses, but the image then became a little bit more interesting and more abstract.
Yes, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's a real personal piece for me. I did it for my niece Melissa. She died of cancer, and she had asked me to do that for her before she died, so it's now very personal for me. So
it's a beautiful piece. I really enjoy looking at it. And what about this piece?
The cactus is also another image, a botanical image, representing the fact that I love to see the repetition of shapes and patterns, the way that light plays on those shapes, creating new shapes in some cases, the way the colors dance in the light, and it becomes kind of an abstract image, although it's very representational.
Yes. When I look at your art, it reminds me of Georgia O'Keeffe's paintings, especially the flower pieces, and what she said when she created her large pieces about flowers is that she really wanted to make people look at the flower and actually see what is there.
Yeah, thank you. I think Georgia O'Keeffe was a very important artist. What she did was very, very important in that time. She gave us a different view of all sorts of images, and especially flowers. She once said that the flower is a world in itself, and I want to share that world with other people. So I think when you look into the heart of flowers, into the detail, they almost look like alien images. I mean, they're very exciting to me.
Excellent. So Marjory, you brought some digital images with you to share with us as well. So let's take a look at the digital images now.
I did. The first piece is another abstracted rose piece. They're white roses. And I did the same process as I did with the red ones, just to give it a little bit of interest. I liked the monochromatic aspect of this one and the way it kind of circles into the center. The next piece is also a rose, and it is not abstracted, although it looks fairly abstract. It's close up. This is a Louis XIV rose, and its shapes to me were representational of lips and you know, all sorts of things. The leaves and the shadows and the way the light hits it, I found very interesting. The next piece is also a rose. It's a Sonia rose, and this one it was very delicate. The folds were very soft and flowing, and I liked the way they flow, and I loved the way the light hits the edges of it. It was, you know, it's just very enticing. I also brought some other pieces of hosta leaves. In the same thing, it's the patterns, it's the shapes, it's the folds, it's the way the light hits it, it's the beautiful colors in nature. I mean, we see colors in natures that are amazing. I mean, you're just shocked sometimes that those are actual real colors out there in the universe. Both of these hosta pieces, the next one, you know, the organic shapes are very abstract to me, and the shadows, the lights, you know, the way that they move with each other, it's almost like a concert, you know, the leaves moving together. The next piece is sunflower. I did a series of 3 sunflowers, and I was also looking at them from a fairly close-up view, but I was also really interested in the really warm background, because sunflowers are such, to me, they represent summer and heat. So the warm background was something that was very exciting for that piece. And the next one, I was looking at the way that they look up to the sun, like in this case, or the way that they open up. And then the next one is as it's starting to die, and it starts to kind of lean over, and the leaves and the petals actually start kind of laying down and isn't saying goodbye. So that's, this is a landscape from Carmel, and I just thought this tree was really fascinating. It shows the history it has, and you know, you can feel how long that tree has been there, and all of the bark and the twisting of the things and the dead branches. So it was a fascinating visual for me, so I thought other people would enjoy seeing it as well. The next piece is a beach scene. This is from the East Coast, and it was early in the morning before people were coming out to the beach. It was around Memorial Day, but the light on the beach was really beautiful, and it was really empty and quiet, so it had a real nice peaceful feeling. The final piece, I believe, is a vineyard landscape, and this was something that I was kind of playing with the impressionist kind of images, and the way the light hits the top of the trees and trickles down the hillside. So all of these things, you know, I see something either in color or in light or in the images that excites me and makes me want to share that image with other people.
Well, they're beautiful images, Marjory. Thank you for sharing them with us.
Sure.
And in this age of digital imaging and duplication, what do you see as the future of art? You use acrylic paints, but you also use computers to help design your art. What do you see for the future?
Well, I think there's 2 aspects of that. One is actually creating art on the computer, digital art, and I think it's just another medium. It's like a paintbrush and paint, you know. Artists do really wonderful work, and you can really do a lot of fun things to images, and it's a really new, exciting art form that I think is going to progress and be very, very much a part of the art scene in the future. As far as the reproduction of images, I think that the ability to do one-off giclée prints and to be able to sell these images, I think it is a great opportunity for artists to share their art with more people.
Yes.
And that more people can have, you know, art that is original, and they can share it with their friends and have it in their homes, and I think it's a way to get it out there in the public.
Excellent.